What is up, W Sports Podcast? Wow, I got that music a little bit hot. It's a little too loud. Sorry. Been stuck inside all day. It is just cold. Is in anywhere in the United States it feels like right now. So hopefully you guys are inside and you're ready to enjoy a great live edition of the W Sports Podcast. But we got something special for you. You all know it. You all know this guy. Our co-host Tubby is probably one of the best in the business at knowing random sports trivia. So today we thought, you know what? We're in this weird gap between NBA All-Star break, which we can actually ask you about that. We also have NFL, which is not really draft season. We're in this no free agency period. Baseball, literally games start this week, which is great in spring training. But there's just this little. So we're going to take some time and we're going to do some trivia this week and in another episode. So you're going to want to make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because who doesn't love random sports trivia?
I mean, I know I do.
Yeah. Well, dude, how many times did we spend in school or even now still, we just random text. I'm sure Tubby knows.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of what we did when we were younger. Yeah,
wasting quite a bit of time, or filling quite a bit of time.
Yeah, that's it. We weren't wasting. We were getting more knowledge.
Gaining more knowledge. We're equipping ourselves for this day right here for you all, the listeners. So we're excited to be here for this episode today. If you have not already, or you didn't already know this, and you're listening to this on the podcast version versus YouTube, one, thank you so much for downloading the podcast. But number two, know that there is bonus content on YouTube. We'll have even more episodes, almost like double right now. We've done a lot of content over on that side, and you don't want to miss it, especially as we head into baseball season, because that's what the W Sports Podcast does. So do that. Got a giveaway, literally 12 days left, 10 days left in this month. And then it's the best giveaway we've done. It's the best giveaway.
Yeah, in my opinion.
In Tubby's opinion. One. Yeah. So do we have another hint today at the end of the episode?
I'm sure I could scrounge one up.
Okay. If he has one, stick around to the episode. You'll do that. If not, we're going to recap. If you don't have one, we'll just recap the hints and you can make your guess in today's episode too. So stick around at the end. And as we do trivia today, if you're in the chat, I want you to actually put your guesses as well. No Google searches. I mean, you could. No Chat GPT. You could. Don't pull up ESPN. Just see if you can think of it. Some of these are a little bit trickier than others. But Tubby, you ready?
I think so. We'll see how it goes.
All right. I got the questions. I got the answers. I did a lot of research to get this to make sure it's right. I did try to have whatever. I tried to have it help me out, and it refused to answer the questions, but it helped me make sure I worded the questions right at least. So
what's good with it then if it can't answer the
I was like, come on now. All right, so let me ask you this, Tubby. This is question number 1. It's going to be called passing milestones. So what this quarterback connected with his wide receiver for the longest pass play of 2024 season? Can you name the quarterback and the wide receiver? And for bonus points, you can give me how long the pass was.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
I've got a couple in my head.
See, I know there's one that comes to everybody's head, and I'm like, well, there you go. And maybe it's that one.
Man, I feel like this is a tricky one.
Yeah.
And I know I don't know if it's right. I'm going to go with the more tricky answer. I'm going to go Mac Jones to Brian Thomas Jr.
And how long would that have been for bonus points?
Was it 92 yards?
All right. I do like it. You're in the ballpark. The longest pass play of this season was actually, 98 yards. Crazy. The one I think most of us think of is the Justin Jefferson play, which was actually 97 yards, which that would have been Sam Darnold and Justin Jefferson. Yeah. But no, it was the Tennessee Titans, Will Levis and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Yeah. That's the one I don't think anybody remembers, but the Justin Jefferson one. That's what I thought you were going to say.
No, I see. I had that one in my head, but I was like, for some reason, I felt like Brian Thomas Jr. had a really long one, especially whenever Trevor Lawrence went out. Whenever he had like that huge game, I can't remember who it was against, but he had like a big 80, 90-yard touchdown on a little slant play, and that's the one that was like, it's gonna be. I know it's a little more tricky. I knew it wasn't so straightforward with Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, the longest air yards, one of those advanced stats that I don't really care a whole lot about, but the longest air yards was Bo Nix, 67 yards for the touchdown. Yes, or 67, something like that. Yeah.
I was gonna go with the Anthony Richardson one against the Bears, where it was just past midfield.
Yeah. Did he catch it though? Like,
Yes.
oh, see, one of the 8 passes that were completed by
Yes.
Anthony Richardson this year, almost qualified.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was one of those ones where he was like falling backwards, and everyone was like, "Oh, look, there's the talent." And I'm like, he got lucky.
Well, the default assumption was he didn't complete the pass, right? Like
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, there's the talent right there. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right. Well, we're going to move on to question number 2 so far, Tubby. We did stump you early, but it was a tricky question right off the bat. I don't think this one is as tough, but it's a little bit more
Okay.
obscure. All right.
Okay.
So, what kicker attempted the longest field goal of this season? Can you name the kicker or the team? And for bonus points, how long was the kick?
Now there was one. I have it in my head, and I just cannot put the team jersey on it. And it was like, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of this. It was like 70 yards.
70 yard.
Or is it? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe I'm thinking of a college one. I don't know. It was. I don't know.
I do have quite a few here that were attempted 70 yarders. I do, but it was Brandon Aubrey.
This year?
So it is, yes, 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was, and he is the one. He also has the longest made kick this season.
Yeah.
It's attempted kick too. So I was trying to stump you.
Yeah. Is he the? How long was the attempt?
70.
70. Okay. See, I knew I had it in my head. For some reason, I thought it was a little more obscure player than Brandon Aubrey, because that one's, Brandon Aubrey has
the leg,
the most easygoing kick, swing I've ever seen for a guy attempting a 60-yard field goal. Yeah. And you're like, he's barely moving his leg.
Yeah. No, I know. That's the one good position the Cowboys have.
Yeah.
Besides CeeDee Lamb. Sorry, CeeDee. Sorry, CeeDee.
And Micah Parsons is good too.
Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. They're better than I thought. They're Super Bowl contenders next year. Sorry, Eagles.
No.
All right. Well, can you name me? This one I feel like it's a pretty good one. But name me the running back that had the most broken tackles this year.
Josh Jacobs.
He was second. Oh, dude.
Man.
Kyron
Williams.
He was third.
Oh man.
I know, but dude, you're on the right track.
Bucky Irving.
Nope.
No. I know he had an obscure amount for a guy his size.
Yeah.
Is it? Am I overthinking?
You're overthinking it. It's not Saquon. I was surprised. I expected it to be Saquon. It's Derrick Henry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was going to ask you who you thought was second and third, because the Kyron I don't think anyone's thinking of. And Bucky Irving is a good one too, and I think he's also one of those running backs that's helping change the narrative of what does the prototypical 2025 running back look like to dominate in the NFL. And he's that guy. Yeah. He's not the 210, 205 guy anymore.
He's small. He's 5'8".
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest knock on him in the draft was, he's not very big. And that's why I was like, oh, maybe he did. He had the most for a rookie running back, but yeah, I thought maybe he's trying to trick me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I kind of did, but the Josh Jacobs right off the bat, he was second. He had 36 broken tackles. It says Derrick Henry was 43, and then Kyron Williams is just below Josh Jacobs. I think 34 or 33. I had to double check. All right, so the next question, I'm going to give you at least half a point on that one, because I was going to end up asking you the top 3, and you gave me 2 of the 3. So all right, can you name me the top 3 scoring offenses this year?
Top 3 scoring offenses. So you got the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bengals.
No, I thought the Bengals were in this. They are not.
Really?
Yes. Remember, they had a couple of those games where it was like 10-7, 7-17.
Yeah,
it was ugly
early on. Yeah.
That hurt him.
Trying to think here.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just think, who's scoring all those touchdowns?
Yeah. Well, that's why I went with the Bengals, because
at the end of the year, they couldn't be stopped. Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills?
Buffalo Bills, yes. Can you tell me how many points they scored roughly? Like, you don't be right on the money, but just...
I honestly have no idea.
564 for the Lions. The next closest was the Bills at 525, followed by the Ravens at 518. I think there's one other team that was in the 500s, but everyone else was lower. The Eagles were lower. The Chiefs, I think, don't even know if they broke 400.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
crazy.
we got most of those Chiefs games. They were low score 1-point games.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So keep that in mind. That's a little nugget for later on. And this is going to be a 20-year thing, but this is why the NFL is so good, I think. But all right, let's look at this. Which teams had the best? Let me make sure I word this right. What team had the best record improvement compared to the year before?
Best record improvement from the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, put some.
It has to be the Chargers.
Chargers. It was Chargers. Where was it? No.
No. How? They had the 4th pick in the draft. They ended up in the playoffs.
Double check my work here. I'm glad. Okay. Is there any other teams that you can think of
That's what I was trying to think. Oh, the Commanders.
Commanders were number 1.
Yeah.
It's
definitely not the Bears. Because the Bears,
yes,
they should have improved.
But they had 7 wins last year. They went 7 or 7-10 or something like that.
That's what I said. They did not improve this year.
Yeah, the Chargers had 11 this year, and then last year the Chargers had 5, so they had a 6-win improvement. So they didn't qualify on these, but the Vikings were the other one. I mean, 14 wins was pretty tough. Compared to the year before.
I guess so. Yeah, compared to
So
I was just thinking of like, draft wise. That's why I was going through. Who picked where in the draft and how well they did this year.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to move on. Can you name me the top 5 quarterbacks in regards to total QBR? And I will note that this has to qualify. You couldn't have had one game and none of this Matt Flynn business from back in the day. Okay, so just full season.
Malik Willis is
Willis is not on this list. No, you don't get credit for handing it off 70% of the time.
Say he did start 2 games.
I know. He doesn't qualify.
Okay. Top quarterbacks QBR.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Trying to make Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Let me double check. I don't think it is him.
No. I'm not going from 1. I'm just,
correct. No, he is not in the top 5.
He's not in the top 5. Mm-hmm. That's surprising.
Yeah.
Because there was a good span where he didn't turn the ball over quite. That much.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen is a part of this list. Yes.
Lamar Jackson.
Yes, they are tied for first at 77.3.
Okay. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts is it? Oh man, I need to double it. No, he is not on this list. Yeah.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff also not on the list, which I was surprised by.
No, he did have the 5 interception game.
He's close. Jared Goff was 6.
Game. Okay.
Yeah, Hurts was 10, by the way.
Trying to think. Justin Herbert.
Herbert was up there at 11. Wow, man, this is why I like QBR because
QBR is a lot different because you've got to think about you can't. They're not just the best. It's not turning the ball over. Certain types of plays.
Yeah, and it takes into consideration some small those. Hey, it's 4th and 1. Do they get it? Is it 3rd and 7? Did they throw the ball to the right receiver? Those things. That's what I really like about it.
Yeah.
And again, 50 is average. So the best of the best this year were 77.3. And you said Allen and Jackson so far.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is up on the list. He was 3rd at 74.7. He's got 2 more.
I feel like there's going to be some. Jaden Daniels.
Yes, there you go. You got 1 more to go.
Man.
And I'm not. As you think about it, this guy had he had a better year than I think. He didn't have as good a year as QBR tells you, but it tells you how good he is. But he didn't have the season that we all expected him to. I know.
Patrick Mahomes.
No, Patrick was better this year, though.
Yeah, I know he improved because he didn't have as many of the big turnovers as he had the couple years before.
Yeah.
So he's better than Bo Nix.
Bo Nix was a lot lower than we thought. Again, I think
Really?
this is a product of what you brought up so much this year. He was 18th, but so many of his games were
Games
bad
are,
opponents.
yeah,
Yeah, didn't have to make the plays on his shoulders the way it
oh,
appears that he did to make the playoffs.
yeah.
But
Trying to think
do
of,
you want a hint?
yeah,
NFC North.
it's not Jordan Love,
It's
is it?
Jordan Love.
How? He had,
I know. I know.
he led the NFL. He's one of the most. He had one of the most interceptions. One of the most interceptions for a quarterback this year.
Yeah, he was up there with 11 interceptions. He's sacked. I think this helped him a ton.
The
14
14,
times
yeah,
he took a sack. So sometimes, sacks are
yeah,
his fault. Sometimes not getting a sack is a huge piece of this.
yeah.
And
That's true.
for him, he had at the end of the year, from December on, it was 91, 90, 87, 82, and then he had the 50 against the Bears that didn't really matter. But
Yeah, I forgot about the Toyota-thon.
the Toyota-thon.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't know. I like
That's-
that one though because again, you look at Jordan Love and you're like, you know what? He didn't have a great season statistically, but I still see the structure there. I still see.
And the thing is I guess it maybe doesn't take in consideration that he had 37 drop passes this year.
Right. Yeah.
That weren't his fault, and because I saw a thing, if he doesn't have those 37 drop passes, he goes from was it 21st or something like that in
completion
percentage up to like 8th.
Dude, and what? So keep that in mind. We're gonna have another question about drop passes here in a little bit.
Okay.
All right. So, all right, we're gonna move on to the next question. What team? Oh, I need to make sure I word this question right. I can't see. I can see the answer. All right. This team had the best red zone stop rate in the 2024 season.
I know this one.
I was surprised by the answer. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh man. I know this one, and I've got like 2 or 3 teams in my head right now.
Yeah. Which one are you most confident in?
I'm pretty confident equally in the 2 or 3 that I have.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna
go ahead.
I want to say it's the Minnesota Vikings.
It's not.
No.
No. So what was your other teams? And here's the thing. I had to dig into this because I didn't believe it. But
really?
I think a lot of this came down to who are you playing against?
So
that helps you narrow it down.
It's the Denver Broncos then, or as I said, the Broncos are the
It
Chargers,
is the Broncos. Then. Yes, the Broncos are up there very high. I think it's like 41 or 44%. 44%. I mean, it's pretty good.
And say it does make sense too. I mean, they do have a good defense. Granted, they did play some really bad teams.
Yep.
They do have a really good defense. I mean, Nick Bonito had an incredible year. Patrick Surtain, obviously, Defensive Player of the Year. So makes sense.
But that's the recipe right there. So again, we're not huge into some of the big stats that people love or advanced stats for football, but I think that is how you say, is this causation or is this correlation? I think that right there is what you just uncovered is the correlation of really good defensive talent, especially top tier.
Yeah.
Probably questionable quarterback play on the other side.
Yeah, definitely.
So there you go. Denver Broncos leading the category the way that one. What was the biggest blowout victory this year? Can you name the teams and the score?
Biggest blowout victory.
Yeah.
It's the Detroit Lions versus the Houston Texans.
What would that score have been? Let me see.
Wasn't it like 49-17 or something ridiculous? 53-17, 50. They scored like 8 or 9.
It was the Lions, but not the Texans.
Not the Texans?
Not the Texans.
They had back-to-back games where they just blew out teams. Who'd they play after that?
It was the game after
the New Orleans Saints.
No, it was an NFC. What division is that? You were in the right division before. Why is my mind blanking? Where did it go? Holy cow! Why can I not see this? There it is. You said the Colts earlier or the Texans?
No, I said
it's the same division. I may have
same division.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Colts.
No, not the Colts. The Jaguars.
Jacksonville. Yeah.
Yes. Do you remember the score?
No, I just know that they scored like 7 or 8 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, 52-6.
Yeah, and they scored like 8 touchdowns on 8 straight drives or something crazy.
Yeah. And who still had a job after this that was absolutely ridiculous for bonus?
Doug Peterson.
Absolutely terrible. Yeah, we knew it was the Lions. We just were like, which game was it? But yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one for them. All right, let's move on.
Oh, no, because
go ahead.
Goff threw the 5 interceptions against the Texans.
And they still won.
Yeah, and they still won.
Yeah, it was wild. And that's why you run the ball, people. Thank you, Dan Campbell. Thank you, Dan Campbell. All right, let's move on. We talked about drops early in the podcast. That's the thing that we always hate about receivers is they just drop the stupid ball. Can you tell me who is number 1? And for bonus points, who is number 2 in drop passes as a receiver, wide receiver this year?
I mean, I know the Packers are number 1 overall. I don't know if that plays into it. Or did they get enough pass attempts? I don't know if they.
I think it's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
You're just chucking the ball a bunch.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm.
And who has bricks for hands? Just
bunch of body catchers.
That was my first guess. It is not Quentin Johnson. Volume wasn't there, but I think percentages he's probably high.
Man, trying to think of teams that are just absolutely airing out the ball all the time. Besides, I mean, it's not Jamar Chase, because Jamar Chase was
no.
So what other teams just air out the ball? Man,
yeah, both of the
CeeDee Lamb,
not CeeDee Lamb. No,
I know CeeDee had quite a few this year though.
The leading candidate has 13 drops. 13. Now. Ooh. Again, part of this is volume. You got to have a lot of passes, and you got to be on a bad team.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. Xavier Legette was pretty high, but I don't think that he got enough
volume
attempts.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite backup quarterback played for this team.
Everyone's favorite backup quarterback? So, has to be the Browns then.
Yep.
Is that who? It's not Jerry Jeudy, is it?
It is Jerry Jeudy, number 1.
Really?
13 drops this year.
Even with the big numbers that he put up, in some points in the game, that's surprising. I would not have guessed Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, the second place was a former Brown as well, and this one was surprising, and it actually correlates with his production this year.
Amari Cooper.
Yes.
See, that's who I was originally thinking about. I was like, did he get enough? Because I know he missed quite a few games.
Just not catching anything.
Yeah, and I guess that's a big part. That's who I was originally thinking. But, but I was like, I don't know if he played enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe he played more and he just didn't catch the football, obviously.
Yeah, I think so here's what I would tell you. Jerry Jeudy, next year fantasy football, still consider it, right? Depending on who the quarterback is, but still consider it because volume will be there. Don't be drafting Amari Cooper. He's done. He's washed. He's over. Stop it. Yeah. Not only did he not catch the ball, he didn't get the volume, and he didn't find the end zone. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's up there with, like you said, not as much volume as you would think.
Mm-hmm.
So he just had some absolutely brick hands this year.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Here's the punting question. We've had a field goal, a special teams question. We got a punting one here. This is like the hardest question I have today. Okay.
Okay.
Who led the league in coffin corner punts? That would be landed inside the 20-yard line of the opponent's team. Now, I'm going to give you the first question is how many did they do? That's 1 point. And then if you could tell me, I'm going to say you're going to tell me the team because I can't. Oh, I remember the team now. Tell me the team that did it because there's no way you're knowing the punter's name.
It's not Jack Fox, is it?
It is not.
No. Okay. And then it has to be I'm trying to think of who was that other punter in the Pro Bowl? Plays for trying to think what team he played for.
Yeah, exactly.
The Jaguars?
Mm-mm.
No, it's not the Jaguars punter.
Mm-mm.
Who is that other guy? Because I know Fox was in there for the Lions. I'm trying to think of who the other guy was. It's not the Titans, is it?
Nope.
No.
I'm telling you, there's no way. This is the hardest question I found. I researched. And I was because I pulled this one up because I thought it was going to be someone else. And I was wrong. This person but part of it was this is a team that was good enough to move the ball to midfield, but not good enough to score. Like that was when I dug into it. Like their offense was okay, but not good enough.
Okay. Trying to think. What teams? The Texans.
No.
No, the Chargers.
No.
Man,
It's an
I honestly don't.
Yeah,
It's an
NFC
team.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals.
Nope.
The Seahawks.
Nope. I'm gonna say this, and you're like, that makes sense. Are you ready? And then you can tell me how many they got inside the 20. How about that?
Okay.
It was the Saints.
Okay.
See, exactly.
That was going to be my next guess after the
taught you
Seahawks. But
yeah, talk about
how many
a
did
very
they have?
yeah.
Golly, I don't know.
Again,
21.
He had 75 total punts and 40. Where is it? It was a 40. 41 were inside that the 20. That's pretty good.
That's impressive.
Yeah, his percentage was very high, but the punter is Matthew Waddell.
Nope, not the guy I was thinking.
Yeah. Again, hardest question I had the whole time. So
how do you? I just want to know how you get 45 punts, down inside the 20, and you don't make the Pro Bowl.
It's a popularity contest, right?
Because he wasn't on the Pro Bowl team. Jack Fox was the NFC punter, and then I want to say the AFC punter was the guy from the Jaguars. I can't remember his name, but okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so this is going to be home attendance. So, do you know who has the biggest stadium?
The biggest stadium,
like seating wise?
I don't know if it is anymore. I know it used to be Washington, but I don't think it is anymore. I think they took out a bunch of seats.
So
is it the Chiefs?
No, it's Chiefs. I think are 70,000.
It's not the Packers. Is it? Not
so
Packers.
No, it's Jerry World. So I'm gonna exclude them because they can seat like 100,000 at some point. So excluding Dallas, who averaged 92,000 fans per home game this year, which is wild. Can you name me the other top 3 teams?
The Packers.
Packers are there. Yes, 78,000.
The Steelers.
Nope.
No. Really. The Chiefs.
Nope. Their max is like 70,000.
Okay.
Arrowhead is, yeah.
Trying to think of like the bigger NFL stadiums.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any.
Once I say like it is, I can't tell you which conference because that doesn't help.
No. Trying to think of if any of those newer stadiums are big enough. Because I know they've been making stadiums smaller lately. We'll just say the Rams, Chargers.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I didn't think.
But I like the way your mind's thinking. The stadium shares something with some teams.
So it's not the Jets and Giants. There's no way. Really?
Yep.
MetLife?
I know. They're just barely bigger than Lambeau at 78.7. I think the Jets technically draw more than the Giants.
I'm just surprised that many people went to those games.
Well, I would like to point out, I'm pretty sure this is purchased tickets, not attended tickets. There's a big difference.
Okay. I was going to say, because, I mean, I definitely wouldn't go to those games.
Yeah, no, not very good. What was this question? All right, we got 3 more questions. No, 4 more questions. All right, this one is, can you tell me the teams that had the most primetime games upon original schedule release this year?
Upon original.
Yeah, because there are some games that get flexed, but like when it all was said and done, these 3 teams, you don't have to name all 3, but just tell me the teams if you can, actually had the most set.
Trying to think of, trying to think of like Monday night games.
Yeah.
I know the Chiefs played a lot of 1:00 games, so I don't know if it's the Chiefs.
Chiefs were tied for second.
Were they really?
Teams at 5 total games. There are 3 teams that had 6.
3 teams at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Man, for some reason, I want to say the Lions were up there.
I also 5. Yeah, not as many.
Five,
Yeah, I was
really?
surprised. Now, again, once you find the answer
Yeah,
out, or once you get the answer, you're like, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I get
mhm,
why, but dumb.
yeah. The Ravens?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, that one makes sense. I think they were
Yeah, that.
also 4 or 5. Yeah, they had a lot.
Mm, the Bills?
Not the Bills.
Not the Bills, really.
Yeah,
So they just didn't like the top teams in the NFL this year, is what you're
correct.
saying.
Yeah, this is not about this season. This is about
Yeah,
something else.
the Packers.
Packers did not, and again, that would have made sense.
I didn't think they did. I think they only had like 4.
Yeah.
Man, trying to think. Who did we always see on the Bengals?
Nope.
No.
Again, these ones make sense. It doesn't. 2 of these are like big picture history of the NFL. Yep, makes sense. One of them is like
The
that's
Dallas
stupid.
Cowboys.
Yes.
The Giants.
Nope.
No. I was going, dumb. Why would they?
You're in this right city for one of those.
The Jets. Oh yeah, because everyone
That's
was
the
expecting. Yeah, everyone was expecting the Jets to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, they did not end up with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And the third team was the San Francisco 49ers.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
Again, big picture makes sense, but in the moment
Yeah.
you're like, no, give me these 4 teams. I want to see them every
Yeah.
week in prime time, and we didn't get them as much.
I mean, the 49ers out of all of them make the most sense just because everyone thought the 49ers were going to make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they didn't even make the playoffs. All right, can you name me the 3 tight ends that had the most touchdown catches?
Oh.
Yeah.
Most touchdown catches.
Yeah, just this season.
I'm going to say, because easy, like yards is easy.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if he got as many touchdowns. I don't know if Brock Bowers caught that many touchdowns this year. Brock Bowers.
Not Brock Bowers. Nope.
And say I didn't.
You were thinking the right way.
Yeah. George Kittle.
Kittle is one of them. Yes, he's tied for second with one other guy.
Did Travis Kelce get in the end zone a lot this year? No, I didn't think Kelce did.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert. Nope.
K. Daughton.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I'm just going fantasy wise. Trying to think of fantasy times.
One of these was a fantasy.
Oh, Mark Andrews.
Yep. He's number 1. He had the most with 12, I believe.
Yeah, Mark Andrews got really hot at the end of the season.
Yeah, and then the other one was the streaming guy that you picked up, and he probably took you deep in the playoffs as a tight end.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of streaming tight ends. Not him. Man, mine's blanking on tight ends of who caught touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
Not him. Ferguson was hurt most of the season. Trey McBride. He went like 100 catches without a touchdown.
Yep, same thing.
Yeah, I think he had the most receptions in a season by a tight end without a touchdown.
Yeah. Him, Bowers, and Kelce, they had a lot of catches. It was just finding the end zone, the red zone coverage. That's when defenses really collapsed in on him. This is another tight end. He's in the AFC. And again, not one of your top 10 tight ends come fantasy season. I mean, he just really wasn't, but he definitely ended that way.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who it is. Trying to like all the names that are popping in my head are like the big name guys, and I know they aren't them, or guys everyone expected to be good this year.
You got 2 out of 3, which is pretty good.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I know it.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
no one's picking him up. No one's drafting him, and then you just couldn't
Hmm.
let him go. He tied
Yep.
George Kittle with, I believe, 8. Yeah, 8
Yep.
touchdowns. The next highest was 7. I think like Pat Freiermuth was up there, but that's what I was waiting
Yeah.
for is one of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. John makes sense because he did end up making the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. One of the things that makes the NFL great is those close games, and it seems like literally any given Sunday, any team could win. And I
Hmm.
think, and I was curious about this, not just this year. Obviously, I'm a Chiefs fan, and I was like, well, how many one-score games are the Chiefs winning, and does that correlate with the other NFL games? So I actually looked at this all time. Well, not all time. The last since 2000. There we go.
Hmm.
Since 2000, what percentage of NFL games are one-score games? And one-score game would be 8 points or less,
Mm.
right?
67% of the time.
Okay, see that's higher than I thought. I wasn't sure. I had no idea. But within 8 points or less, it's actually 50% of the
Okay.
time. And I'm like,
So
that's literally any
yeah.
given Sunday.
No. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. I just went high just because I was like, he's asking me this. I know it's going to be higher than what most people are going to say.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Which I think most people wouldn't necessarily feel that, especially even over
Hmm.
the last couple of years with
Yeah.
dynasties like the Patriots and the Colts being as good as they
Hmm.
were. And here we are. Literally
Yeah.
that's why if you're a betting person, which this isn't a betting podcast, and I don't trust myself with any of that kind of stuff. So like
Nope.
there's no, I mean, if
Yeah.
one possession, literally every single game has that shot. So, all right, here is the final question I have for today, because again, we'll have some more soon. This
Hmm.
team led the league in third down conversion percentage this season. It's an offensive category, not defensive stuff.
Hmm.
So, offensively, they had the most,
The most.
or the best percentage, not the most.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Got 3 teams in my head. I'm trying to decide which one. Feel like one's way too obvious. Ooh. I'm just gonna throw one out there. The Washington Commanders.
Nope.
No.
I think they're in the top. I think they're in the top 5. I can't remember now, but I thought I remember
Mhm.
seeing them. See if I can find that while you're thinking.
I don't know. I don't like that one that I was about to say. I don't know if it's right.
Yeah,
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
nailed it.
Is it okay? See, I was between the Bucks and the Commanders, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I know Baker turned the ball over a lot, but I do always remember him making those, wild runs or big time throws. Okay.
Yeah, they were 51%. Second place was Baltimore at 50%, and the Kansas City
Okay.
Chiefs, of course, were at 47%, which makes sense. They were constantly in
Hmm.
those short yard situations. I was
Yeah.
surprised not to see a team like the Lions or the Bills in it, but I realized they went through for it on fourth down so many times, just like the Eagles did. So they weren't
And
converting on third down; they were converting on fourth down.
that's why when I was like, that one seems too obvious. I was thinking the Eagles, but I'm like,
Hmm.
most of those tush pushes happen on 4th and 1.
Yep.
And so that's why I was like, that one seems too obvious. I can't guess that one.
Yeah. So definitely
Yeah.
surprising. And I do like on the NFL, if you ever get bored and you just want to go find out those random stats as listeners, just
Yeah.
go out to ESPN. Has a user friendly interface to go and see team stats. You can go
Hmm.
first down, second down, third down, even. It's kind of fun. If you get bored,
Yeah.
NFL's not happening. Might as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Do you know what team had the most fourth down conversion attempts this year? This is a bonus question.
The Lions?
Nope. Lions were fourth at 33.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The Bears.
Bears were second at 38. And again, this is total
Man.
attempts, not
Yeah.
conversions. So I like your brain's on the right track at this point. The 3 teams that are 1, 2, and 3 are all bad teams.
Bad teams.
Bad offensive teams.
The Titans.
Nope. That's a good guess though.
The Jets.
Nope.
The Jaguars.
No, the Cleveland Browns.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense too.
Yep. Yeah. So
yeah, I was just going in draft order.
I do like that. Yeah, you're like, I'm just gonna go worst teams. Yeah. So
yeah.
Well,
Alright.
I know it was a bit of a different episode, everybody. A little bit longer than we expected, so we'll plan a little bit of a buffer time as we do our college football one here next time. Tubby is going to crush on the college football one. We're going to go more historical, not just last season. We're going to really look at some of these things. But feel free, if you have a question you want us to answer, or you have a really good trivia question, put that in the chat so we don't miss it. But Tubby, since we are running on 40 minutes, which is crazy, I'm going to go ahead and hit pause on the hints recap, and we will do that on the next episode. So make sure, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and share the podcast with someone who doesn't already have it. I know it's random, but it's fun. That's what sports are all about.
Absolutely.
Till then, we'll see you all next time.
See ya.
See ya.